Good morning, wrestling fans and John Cena fans. Thank you, John Cena, for starting the show for us this morning. Welcome to the Pain Clinic that's right. We are deep into December 13th. We are halfway through, almost to the end of the year. We have a few holidays today, though, for this December 13th. It's Ice Cream Day. Yeah, right in the middle of winter. Perfect timing. National Cocoa Day and Violin Day. Interested in roller derby, want to be a skater, officiate Rock City Roller Derby needs you. Contact recruitment at rockderbyrecruitment@gmail.com and join Rock City Roller Derby. If you're the men's team, Flower City Fear, FLOUR, flowercityfear.com. Just getting practicing for the new season coming ahead. Thank you for everybody who's listening. It's a monumental day in WWE, I would say, and we'll talk quite a bit about it during on the show, but let me introduce the cast and crew with you right now. I am your humble host, the Cash Man. Thank you for joining us. I am joined by DC Dan Cole, DC from NC. There you are, DC. How you do today, DC?
Not too bad, Cash. Yourself?
I'm doing good. And we're joined by Rob Sanderson from Parts Unknown Rochester or New York or whatever, or this area. What's up, Rob? How you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm cold.
Yeah, what the heck? It's like when it's supposed to be like snowy around Christmas time. In the last few years, it's been not snowy. I have a feeling we're going to have snow for Christmas because it's been, cold and, snow and all that fun stuff. Welcome to Western New York. But hey, welcome to the show today.
It's almost like climate change is real.
I don't know. This is something you expect because, when you picture Christmas, what do you picture? You don't picture the beach, unless you're down in like Corpus Christi or something. But
yes, the place with the weather.
It is a place with weather.
They do have weather.
Yeah. But just think about it. And I never thought about this until recently. People down in the southern hemisphere, it's summertime in the middle when Christmas happens. So it's imagine growing up when it is beach weather, for Christmas, and you don't have these images of Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer coming down in this winter snow and everything, probably even like Bermuda shorts or something, Santa Claus coming flying in a sleigh, and probably wouldn't even be a sleigh because there's no snow, so you'd need like maybe a four-wheeler or something, but yeah, it's just the area of the planet we're from. But yes, it's Christmas time. We've got a couple weeks to go. There's probably some great WWE or AEW or anything kind of presents you can buy for your loved ones. Please go out and buy them. You could buy some way expensive house show tickets in Rochester if you want. Just throwing that out there. There's things to do. But welcome to the show. We got a couple things we want to talk about today. It's John Cena's finale. How can we not talk about Saturday night's main event tonight and John Cena, the last time, quote unquote? I still have a hard time believing that in the world of wrestling anytime.
There's a lot of people like in your boat that don't. I totally believe him. I think this is it.
Yeah. It's just tough because, he's in great shape. He looks good and everything, but, he says he can't keep it up with it. So it's like, we'll see, and then 6 years down the line, the company's on the brink of bankruptcy, and John, will you come back? And he's, what's he going to say? No, but I want to talk about,
hopefully.
Yeah. I want to talk
set the standard if people actually like sticking to their word on that.
It would be nice.
Yeah. But, it never, truly, how many times has someone said, I'm done and left and never came back?
I've heard so many people say
I still have never forgiven John Cena for me going to a WrestleMania where I was supposed to see a once in a lifetime match that happened the next year too.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, The Rock's going to come out today, and like immediately before you leave the building today, before the broadcast ends, you're going to know what Cena's next match is going to be. It's like they sold this event based off this being the last time. You cannot do that. You should be handed a refund if you paid for tickets to go there today and you're already like, oh, so there's going to be another match. I don't think there's going to be another match. I also don't think The Rock's even going to like show up.
So. He probably won't. He's actually on my list of things to talk about because he's up for an award that we'll talk about later. You want to talk about the mystery man of WWE and as well as AEW crowned new tag champs, women's tag champs, in fact. So we'll talk about all that stuff later. But how you guys doing today? I mean, it's yes, it's cold. I mean, DC, how's the weather down in NC?
I mean, it's fine right now. It's sunny and 44. Could be warmer, but it could be colder.
It's true. It's true.
We're gonna have single digit wind chills tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that.
DC, are you making your way up to Western New York for the holidays?
Yeah, yeah. So, turn that turn that cold around for me before I arrive next weekend.
We're
You sound so excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe we're supposed to get I heard a 40s coming up. So it's equivalent what you have. Just there's like a foot of snow on the ground here. So
I mean, honestly, if you just clear the path for me next Saturday and then 2 Saturdays after that, that's all I ask for.
there you go. Okay. Well,
I think I would probably trade, like, instead of consistent like 20s or 30s, I would deal with teens like most days, as long as like every 4 or 5 days you get that like ice melting 40s.
yeah, that's what we need is if I'm hearing someone said 47 is going to be the high. So if that happens, it could pretty much wipe out all this snow we have before Christmas. So I mean, there's a possibility out there, but
That'd be
no,
great. That's better than a white Christmas. Sorry, not sorry.
well, it'd be like a muddy Christmas then,
That's
Or
fine.
Chase, do you want some Bojangles?
Oh my God, yes. I just got hungry.
Have you heard about their new I know to deviate, but have you heard of their new breakfast sandwich?
No,
The Carolina Crunch.
I'm intrigued.
It's a breakfast sandwich, but instead of a biscuit, it's two giant bow rounds.
Wow.
I see. The thing is like their biscuits are like a contender for my favorite thing. So I guess I have mixed feelings, but I would absolutely try it, no doubt about it.
What if you get a biscuit and then put it on the outside of the bow rounds?
Is this like Bojangles Inception or something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or you got to try the Bowberry sausage biscuit.
Speaking of Bojangles, just keeping this tangent going.
Yes.
So now there's at least one already open in New Jersey with more coming, and one in Allentown, I think. So like slowly moving up this way. Let's keep going, Mr. Bojangle. Let's keep that expansion running. All about it.
Come on, Mr. Bojangle, dance. Sorry, terrible song. Quote there if you ever heard the song.
I have no idea what song this is.
You've never heard the
Is
song,
it,
Mr.
is it about
Bojangles?
chicken and biscuits?
No, it's about a dog.
Fortunately not.
Or
About
biscuits
dog.
and gravy? Oh,
A dog named Bojangles. So yeah, but
probably a pretty cool dog then.
he pretty was. I think he got up and died or something in the middle of it. So you'll find it, folks. Look it up when you get
What
time.
a dark
How
world we live in.
uplifting.
Let's jump into the Cena talk as we kind of started with the Cena talk a little bit. Cena tonight's at, we started the show with John Cena. I don't know if you heard the beginning, but I have this collection of IDs from wrestling guys that I haven't used in a very long time, and John Cena was one of them, and I appreciated getting the IDs from him. I believe it was tied to a giveaway or something. I was kind of always hoping, because he does have a brother here in Rochester area, that he would maybe come up for this live event that's going on in Rochester the week after Christmas. You never know, I'm not going to count him out, but Cena's he's busy, obviously. And what it's interesting is this week he's been doing the rounds of the interviews and everything, and he's been saying all the right things. I want to, said, but one thing he did say is he signed a 5-year contract to be a ambassador for WWE, which, it sounds like the Legends contracts kind of, but he also wants to, if he's going to be ambassador, he also wants to help promote the new era of wrestler coming up from NXT and everything, which is what he's doing tonight, obviously, with what's going on Saturday night's main event. But, I don't think anybody cared, for him wrestling Gunther in his last match. Maybe they'll have some sort of switch or something, but it's a big deal. I mean, they've been, like you said, Rob, they've been promoting this and selling this as that's it, and he's come out this past week and said he will be the closing match on the show. Uh-oh, we lost Rob. He is the closing match on the show. He is, he hopefully that I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of dignitaries there from the world of wrestling as well. He If you saw last night's SmackDown, you saw dignitaries from the NFL all wishing him good luck, and Snoop Dogg smoking a joint for him on SmackDown. That was kind of interesting. But he definitely this this show, there you are. We lost you for a second, but now we got your video, so I'll take that. We're still muted though, sir. There
Good
you go.
morning.
There
Part
you
two.
go. What'd you hold up for me there? I didn't see it. It's looking like an autograph.
It's actually a Road Dogg autograph, but with Snoop Dogg. So it'd be great to complete this someday and get the other one.
You got that, and Danny's got a tail.
The two Do double Gs.
That's right. Interesting. I like that. You got wow. But yeah, he was on SmackDown last night, and he was like, he had like a blunt in his hand when he was doing his little speech about John Cena. So, but they had, they had like people like Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Tom Brady, or all like, sending their best to Jelly Roll, guys that you see every time they're usually sitting ringside. I mean, I'm not Tom Brady, but so this is it for him and everything. And, I mean, and he came out in McAfee this week saying he's going to close the show tonight. And there, there was some news a couple weeks ago that they we're going to bring back Jesse Ventura, and now that he's going to be back, there's going to be some dignitaries, and they of course included Stephanie McMahon being in the crowd as a dignitary, as a someone of a famous. It's like, you know what, I'm tired of seeing her in the crowd. It's
Does she have to pay for her seats?
good question. I mean,
Is the special guest ring announcer going to be Paul Triple H Levesque?
Yeah, I probably will. He'll probably start the show again because they feel this is going to be a lot of people watching because they've put so much effort into promoting this for such a long time. But let's just talk about John Cena for a second. I will talk. I want your feelings on him. I will say this: never really was a fan of his. I liked his when he was evil rapper in the beginning. Then he adorned himself to women and children, which a majority of his career. I've come to appreciate him way much more in the last few years since he's been gone. But best ever. It's hard to say that. I mean, you can say that right now because we're at the end of his time. But what best ever? I mean, 17-time world champion's not bad. But if Ric Flair had been John Cena during John Cena's era, he may have had 40, runs. But I remember, and I used to rib guys who would wear John Cena shirts because we always used to make fun. It was women, wives and kids, our mothers and kids that would cheer for him. But then Double B Brian used to come up with a freaking John Cena shirt on and a nose picking kid every once in a while. So, but DC, what are your thoughts on John Cena?
I have to echo a lot of the same thoughts you had, Cash. I was never really a huge fan. Greatest ever? Greatest what?
Yeah.
Greatest in-ring performer? No. Greatest superstar? Arguably. Greatest on the mic? Arguably. He did a lot of good. I think he also did a lot of not good. I mean, I think back in that time where they were pushing him so hard, I think it was at the sacrifice of younger talent that could have been established. So I think it set WWE back a little bit. Can't deny all the good he does outside of the ring, but yeah, I was never a huge fan. Hopefully he stays retired because it would be nice to finally see someone say this is going to be my last match, and it actually is their last match.
What about you, Rob?
I think his legacy obviously goes down as one of the top wrestling personalities of all time. No, I don't think he's the greatest wrestler of all time, or the greatest WWE champion of all time or anything like that. But respect his legacy quite a bit. I think that, I not to just speak negatively about it, but I mean, thinking of like how big of a WWE fan I was, and how the downfall of that started when he started to win those titles, and that's not all on him. A lot of that's on the booking and how quickly they started to shove him down people's throats and stuff. To be honest, but um, he did everything. He's been a great example. I have a ton of respect for a lot of what he did, including him showing up at Bailey's camp like a week ago with a bunch of the top like indie women out there, and John Cena just shows up all day and helps out, like just because he wants to give back and stuff. Like that's the type of person that he is. So the person really respect him, his work ethic, everything like that. I mean, it's something that a lot of people in wrestling have not had. You know, and it's crazy to think that this show was already what 5 years in when he debuted,
Yeah.
and now this is the end today. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's wrestling wise. I can't tell you like I don't have a favorite match. I mean, I remember like being at Mania 20 and being happy to see him win like his first title there and stuff, and doing a little like word life pose outside of Madison Square Garden for a picture, 21, almost 22 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a big day. I think that, you know, from what I've heard from people, there are so many people that have stopped, so many people that watch wrestling or are involved in wrestling or whatever that don't follow WWE anymore that will be tuning in tonight. I know people that are like going out of their way to make sure that they will be by a TV to watch it live. I don't know about people who like used to be WWE fans who just like don't pay attention to anything in wrestling anymore if they're gonna like find it on Peacock. That's part. I feel like it's kind of a, I don't know, a little bit of an insult that yet again somebody's last match ever after however many thousands of matches and years and stuff is on a streaming app. To me, that's kind of crappy, but
I think that they had announced he was going to be on Peacock before NBC said we're not showing it on Peacock anymore. So I think he definitely knew that he did. I mean, that wasn't the case when he announced his last match when it was going to be. I think because Peacock's it's only been since Netflix, and John Cena said it was a little over a year ago that he announced his final run. So,
I
but
feel like this is something honestly that I don't know, like it would make sense for it not to be like WrestleMania and just overshadow everything else
oh,
as part of the show. But I mean, I almost like this dumb partnership they have with ESPN that seems to be going swimmingly. It's almost too bad that it's not like something that can be without, where they could put it on like actual ESPN or something, even if it's not like a Saturday night.
yeah.
But
They should. I mean, college football is pretty much done at this point, or almost done. The playoffs will be starting, but not for
especially
a
if you're the Michigan head coach, former.
while. Solo, yeah. It's nice to see when number one gets beat by like number two, though, like last week. But it happened. Fun things like that happen. But it's just, yeah, maybe they will. Maybe they'll just cut program and say, and this is it for John Cena and do it on ESPN. But they've made no inkling of or an idea of it. So yeah, but yeah, that's the thing too. Is like, I mean, you have to pay for cable anyways. So it's like whether you're paying for an app or cable, we'll see it eventually. It'll be on YouTube, but a lot of people won't. That's one of some of the guys in the chat room were complaining about. It's
Just
like,
watch one of the 50,000 reaction streams on TikTok or
oh
YouTube.
Lord, I am tired of those. I don't know if I can go through another retirement year from any wrestler again after this, because it really overwhelmed a lot of what was going on. I mean, yes, it's great for programming and it probably pulls in numbers, but it
And
really,
especially when it wasn't that great because they botched 95% of it.
Yeah, I mean, normally it's not going to be a year long with like taking the world title and everything just gets turned over on. Like, I mean, it's this is an exception. I mean, I personally will be more interested in seeing like a final AJ Styles match, though I also wish that would not be 2026 and would be more like 46.
There you go.
I'm not ready for that. But yeah, I mean it's a monumental day in wrestling. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I will say that good old Facebook memories popped up 15 years ago today, all caps, a post that says, "I am officially a fan of John Cena." Um, and that was because he had just referred to, remember this guy Justin Gabriel, as the guy from the Fashionable Male, which is a great Mallrats reference. And so John Cena making a Mallrats reference, that I gained a lot of respect for him that day.
Justin Gabriel, I was going to bring up something about the Nexus. I believe he was part of the Nexus, right?
You're not Nexus, you're against us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's well, and there was, and we've heard all the wonderful things about John Cena, and then every once in a while, a little bad thing will come out.
That's the one that always sticks out for me is that group had so much momentum and then it ran into the buzzsaw that was John Cena.
And then they handed it to John Cena in the angle, and it's like, oh, everyone just like, yeah, that was a. What are you doing, dog? Sorry, my dog's like sitting on me. Good girl. They it was disappointing that, but there was people from that who had not nice things to, no, not nice things, but saying, seeing John Cena in stressful situations in which he was not nice to them. In some of the interviews this past week, a lot of people have said really great things. Wade Barrett was the guy in charge of the Nexus at the time when that was going on. So there was, John Cena played politics. There's no lies about that either. He played politics. There's people that he wouldn't work with, and that kind of stunted their career, including people from the Nexus as well. But overall, I mean, he was a company man through and through, and it's
And he
like,
still is. He's still unapologetically a huge Vince McMahon lover.
yeah, that's true, and that's why it's like, will we? That's one of the big question marks tonight. Is obviously he could be there and we would not see him, and I'm thinking that's what it probably will be if he's there. I don't need to see him. I mean, unless obviously Stephanie won't be sitting next to him if she wants to get camera time. That's for sure. But he is. Yeah,
Maybe he'll be hanging out in a press box with another sexual predator billionaire.
Oh yeah. Oh well. There's president.
Yeah. To me, I feel like that would have already come out. Like, that that guy would want like special bulletproof glass installed, and you'd have to start entering the arena now to go through security. And I don't know. I'm not gonna. Well, ketchup packets. No, I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything. That may, it's less. I mean, it will be a big deal if it happens tomorrow. And he's like the kind of guy who would do something on a whim like that because, but we will see. I'm not worried about who's there for it. I'm worried, it's more like, it's going to be a highlight of NXT guys. And, obviously, unfortunately, due to, and I say unfortunately, because we like Ricky Saints, but he lost the NXT title to Obafemi last weekend on the show that was running opposite Collision on the Peacock Network. And I did not even see a second of it, but I will say the Collision was awesome last week, though. Collision, actually this week's Dynamite, super great, man. I'm enjoying
one of the best ones.
Yeah, I'm enjoying these Continental Classic matchups. These are
what a great free matchup.
Yeah, free. I mean, that's what they were saying is like people were saying that this should be on pay-per-view, some of these matches, and it's true. But there's a lot of wonder out there if, yes, Samoa Joe saluted John Cena when he had in the STFU during the middle of his match against Eddie Kingston, which was obviously a sign to John Cena. And I believe John Cena even reposted it on social media. But I think that Tony Khan can get past the differences of the companies to really commemorate a big event in a wrestler's career. And there was like rumors going maybe that there would be something from AEW wrestlers acknowledging John Cena's retirement or whatever, but we will see whether that happens or not, whether it be on Collision, which is at 4:30 today, live
within another amazing lineup.
Yeah, live from Is it live? No, is it?
It's like pseudo live, I feel like, because it's at 4:30 Eastern, which would mean it starts here for us at 9:30 Welsh time, which means like the show would still be going on there, but would already be at least an hour and a half in over there. That's it. I don't know if I've seen any kind of a delay quite like that before, where it's like live but not live. It's just like it's on an hour and a half delay, but live. I don't know.
It's a good question. I'm not sure. I didn't realize there's that many hours different because I mean, once
I think it's
watched.
5. Yeah.
I once
It's
watched.
4 or 5.
I once watched or hosted a UFC at Salvatore's that was at 10 o'clock here East Coast. It was at 11:30 in the morning in Australia, and that's actually when they ran the pay-per-view. Was in the morning on a Sunday in Australia, but they didn't play time delay or anything, which kind of figured they were going to. But we'll see. Nevertheless, we'll probably get something maybe from the wrestlers just honoring John Cena, just because Tony Khan does love, he does love the business, and he does acknowledge that there's a lot of people in it that he's fans of and stuff. But yeah, but honestly, I don't believe it will be the last one, but it might be the last one for some time. But John did come out and say he signed a 5-year contract to be ambassador, so he's still going to be involved with the company. Obviously, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame at WrestleMania this year with the headliner Stephanie McMahon. Hopefully that overshadows any other people going in. It probably will be, but it's just the end of an era. And kudos to John. And I think because we had a tie kind of to him here in Rochester with his brother living here. That whenever they would come here, John would go obviously to the Dinosaur and hang out with his brother and stuff like that. I know a couple times he'd been up there, so I'm sure he's. I know that when they were doing the Diva show, and John was still with Nikki Bella, yeah, that they had a couple of they had at least one episode from a restaurant in Rochester, so I know that. So he has some sort of ties here, but I was kind of hoping, like I said in the beginning earlier in the show, that he would maybe come out for this live event here going on, but probably not be the case because the man is is making movies and having a
Probably
career.
would have helped him move some tickets.
Yeah, I probably would if you could even hint at it, So, but that's probably all I really want to talk about, John, because we got a lot of other things to talk about. But I did want to mention that tonight's dignitaries, Trish Stratus, is going to be there. Or at least she said she was going to be there, so I'm assuming that she's going to be there. Jesse the Body Ventura, Stephanie McMahon, Linda McMahon, and then there's always floating the idea of possible Vince and DT, the guy who runs the company or the country, since it's in Washington. He could possibly come down, after maybe inducting Kiss into the something or another, before he does that, or building walls and all sorts of things. But so that's tonight, and that's a big deal. This is a big deal, and it's like, now I wonder, is it going to leave WWE flat after this? I mean, because they spent so much time involving this in everything that was going on. Is it going to flat? I mean, they're trying to build up a big first year anniversary of Netflix for Raw. They're like, yeah, these things are going to be happening in the next couple of weeks and everything. And it's like, but it's like, now John Cena's not involved anymore. I think that we're going to have a drop off, obviously, fans of Cena who are no longer going to be there. But
I mean, he how much has he really been around in recent years? And even like this year, like it's got to the point after he dropped the title and stuff where it's like here and there kind of thing. I don't really think it's gonna. I think the impact that was going to have has already happened for the most part. I just think you're going to get a bunch of people that, like myself, that will watch the match tonight that would never turn on Saturday night's main event tonight if that wasn't happening.
True, and it probably will bolster those numbers, and then they'll completely lose them all for the next one. Because
it'll be the
they'll
biggest
be
Saturday
finally
night's main
excited
event.
to put out some numbers because they haven't put out the last few weeks of Netflix viewership.
Well, they thought of the top 10 2 weeks ago. I know that. December
I mean,
2nd.
when they talk about it, though, I mean, the gate for tonight and
Oh,
the
biggest
attendance.
gate
I mean,
ever.
it's going to be the ratings are going to be the highest
Yeah.
in WWE Saturday Night
Yeah.
main events history for all Saturday night's main events that have ever occurred on December 13th, 2025.
It'll be the highest money they've ever made on a 13th of December.
Yeah, because a nosebleed seat is $500.
Yeah, it is. Now, honestly, if this was in our town, would we go to a final John Cena match? You know, I mean, when
No.
you can watch
No.
it at home on Peacock, that we're all paying whatever for, $5 a month, that doesn't have. In fact, the only thing the Peacock has now is the archives of their last couple of years of stuff, and that probably will disappear.
And Love Island USA.
And Love Island USA and anything on NBC. You can watch Saturday Night Live, any of those Saturday Night Live episodes, but
I think Shorzy season 5 is coming out soon too.
oh,
Nobody will ever understand, including myself, why I am not somebody who watches or has watched like all of Letterkenny and Shorsey. Because if it's made for anybody, it's probably like
Yeah.
I'm the first person
A
that comes
show
to mind
made
for
by
a lot of people
Canadians
on
focusing around hockey. Yeah.
that. A pseudo Canadian that
Yeah.
hockey, yeah. But at some point, maybe. I mean, I should probably. It would make a lot of sense, but I don't know. I have no like reason for it. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't.
I can imagine that after John Cena's appearance on Peacock tonight, that because there really will be no reason for WWE people to go back to Peacock, that there will get a lot of cancellations of that channel. Yeah, I think so, because it's like, and there is some news later, I think in the news that there's talking about what's going to happen to the archives that are on Peacock right now, because as of the beginning of next year, they're done. So you won't even be able to watch that stuff anymore. Which, I mean, I always wondered what happened to all the WWE Network stuff, because not all that stuff ever transferred over to Peacock. It all there was a lot of it, and there's a lot of money spent invested in erasing WWF branding from every, pick every video and everything possible.
I would love to know, like talking about numbers, I would love to know how many quote unquote man hours went into the editing out of the Scratch logo. Like I know they had a massive team just doing it all day, every day
Yeah.
for the longest time. It took forever. Like the amount of money that they probably spent on all of those hours doing that is just insane.
Oh, it was years. It was a couple of years. They were planning on it for, like, I know, at least 18 months before, when they talked about it first happening, to before it debuted. So I know that, and believe me, I kind of I was interested in maybe like doing stuff like that at one point. And so I was looking for like help wanted jobs and stuff. And they had like a warehouse, or they had like a building in Stamford that they rented out that had bays in it where people were doing that. They had like editing bays, and it was, they spent a lot of money. So there's the guy who,
it wouldn't be the worst job in the world. Like maybe you would get sick of it just from the ass. Like I don't know how do you go frame by frame with like a telestrator, or like how do you actually do that? I don't know. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like when I was an intern at Comcast Sportsnet in Philly and had to log games and like enter in like basically like mark like every single play and pick out the highlights and stuff. And like there are a lot of games I did not want to watch that I had to do that for too. But usually I got out of NBA duty, so that was fine.
I had a friend of mine who worked briefly for TNT Classics, and that he worked on colorizing movies. Remember when that was a big deal, when they
yeah.
he worked in the colorizing, and that's what he worked. He told me it was like a bunch of bays in a row where they would, have to go frame by frame colorizing old movies, and it would take them years to do them. So it was a, but now there's simpler ways. They have like so much easier
AI.
Yeah, AI. I was gonna say AI can do that. I've seen a lot of AI recently. Did a lot. So
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I like seeing Mr. Rogers wrestle Bob Ross in the WWE ring, or
I hate everything that's popping up. I mean, obviously, like part of what I hate is like a good percentage of the work I do and stuff is graphic design stuff, obviously. And so like it's killing a lot in that industry. But I just the amount of things that pop up like Facebook Reels, and it's like, is this real? Is this not? Now you got to look and see, like, did this person magically lose a finger? Like, is this raccoon standing on the top of water? Like, what's going on here? And I just,
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I mean, it even makes me think of like when I went through like a whole like scam thing when it was a lot of that was first starting out. And like there was I don't know if I ever I'll mention it briefly, but like when I was in Ireland and like my family got a call that I was like being held for ransom, but they had like grabbed my voice, and this was like the beginning of like AI generating like voice or whatever, where they like talk like my grandparents like talk to me while I'm being like held hostage. And like my grandfather, rest in peace, was like going to the bank to make a deposit, and I think it was my sister was just like, no, like stop him now. And like luckily the person at the bank, whoever the woman was that worked at Chase Bank in like Scottsville or something, was just like, we're not doing this. And then finally they got a hold of me, and I'm like, I'm literally sitting here eating fish and chips in Dublin, like I'm alive. It's not like, what is going on? um and that was like when AI wasn't really much of a thing yet, but
Oh,
clearly like they grabbed clips of my voice, put it together, and were able to fake it during a live phone call. Like that's scary. And now where we're at this point, like literally yesterday, I'm looking at a video. I'm just like, that's not a real raccoon trying to hand its baby to the boater to get out of a thing, but like it
yeah.
looks so real. And like,
Oddly enough, Artis, this is a discussion me and my wife had as part of our objectives while we're up in New York for the next 2 weeks, is to have these discussions with our aging parents.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No, I question everything I see now because I can't believe I mean, things,
how much worse is this going to get though? Like, I mean, if we're already at a point where things are being so faked and stuff, I mean, literally, like the technology could advance enough in a year or two or five or whatever, where like, oh, let's watch this WWE show. That's not actually really happening. It's
yeah.
just AI generated or whatever. Like, oh, now we can go back and see what it would have been like if
Yeah.
Owen Hart had won the world title in '94 or whatever. Like, I'm so against this, but there's nothing to do to stop it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure it's out there. I mean, I'm sure. Have you seen the South Park Cartman winning the world title in WWE? There's,
I
yeah,
think I saw like a preview thumbnail of it or something. I don't know. Like when I know that it's some kind of fake thing, I usually don't click on it or whatever, because I don't know. That stuff's just scary. I mean, especially with what's going on now with a lot of people like faking stuff. Like you see all these like people getting arrested for like faking like porn with people and stuff, and like
yeah, yeah,
deep fakes and stuff, and then you like all of a sudden here's a message from like a politician that's like completely not real, but everybody automatically believes it, and like, and
yeah,
whether it's against a good guy or a bad guy, whatever, like it's not real. I mean, even I don't know, like there's enough of that already without AI. There's people putting out, like somebody put out this week yet again, like they took Megan Bain's Instagram story, posted it on one of those stupid like Facebook like wrestling news website or Facebook groups, and they slapped like a little sticker on it that says finally single.
oh yeah,
And
with
so
Joey,
like
no longer with Joey Janela, right?
there's
Yeah,
like hundreds of people commenting like about like how like now she's single and she's not with Joey Janela anymore and stuff. And it's like, go look at her story right now. You'll see the same picture without the sticker. But because they put it out there, every single person in the comments was gullible and believed it.
yeah.
Meanwhile, it's not true at all. And it's just like, it's just going to get worse when everything can be faked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I question everything I see now because
This is one of the biggest tangents we've had in a very long time, but I feel strongly about this.
I've been sending my daughter pictures of raccoons like eating and then getting caught in the lights and having like these expressions on their faces, and she goes, "That's all AI." It's like, yeah, I know, but it's funny still. There's some, yeah,
I hate it. I
stuff.
hate it.
So let me let you folks know that if you're going to watch the main event tonight, there's 5 matches going on. I'll go through them very quickly. Bailey versus Saul Ruka, who both were out in the crowd last night. Got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Sorry, 4 matches. We got Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi and John Cena versus Gunther in this last match. So that's what's going on.
And it's confirmed now that Cena's on last.
Cena's on last. He said it on Pat McAfee show yesterday. So So
So when do I have to tune in? Because I don't want to see any of the rest of that.
I'm guessing 9:30, maybe that might be a good time.
I wonder if it's, I don't know. It, it almost feels like to me like this should be a special where like the broadcast, it's like, but give the live crowd some other matches like before or whatever. But I feel like the broadcast should just be the Cena match.
Yeah.
But
Well, they were apparently at first it was going to be Cena and Gunther first, and they were going to allow
that's
them.
what Cena wanted apparently.
Yeah. He wanted to let them go as long as they could go, and then they just cram in the rest of the matches in the time left. But it's changed around. They want, obviously being broadcasters, you want to put the main event on last because you keep people there the most watching it. So that being the case, I don't know, but I believe it's a 2-hour pre-show. So I think it's 6 o'clock. That was when the Peacock broadcast starts of the whole thing. And power to you. We'll talk about it next week, but I don't want to spend any more time on it. We already gave them enough time.
So yeah, at 6 o'clock, I'll be watching Briscoe and Garcia or Takeshita and Claudio or Speedball and Kevin Knight or all this stuff. I'm very looking forward to Collision today.
Yeah, definitely. And Collision. After a great Dynamite this past week, which was a lot of things moving forward, obviously in this Continental Classic. But man, some solid, and I mean the numbers proved it too. It definitely had a boost in the ratings because of what they were showing. But you don't, there's, in the Continental Classic, anybody can beat anybody. So you gotta keep that in mind. Even though you may like someone, you don't want to see them lose. Sometimes it does happen, especially
There's one exception to that this year that I hope is not actually the case, but it's starting to feel even more and more like one person might not be allowed to lose.
Oh yeah,
who I think will beat Claudio today.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if New Japan's letting Takeshita, their world heavyweight champion, lose.
Oh yeah, I don't think he can. I mean,
I feel like he's going undefeated in this whole thing. So,
but if we want to talk a little bit about, so Pat says you're going to be missing a bunch of great young talent if you're not watching the whole show tonight. We'll see. I mean, we get to see a lot of Javon Evans on every other show, anyways, because he is the up and comer WWE. But let's talk a little bit about Dynamite this past week.
I watch enough up and coming young talent that I'll be okay. I like seeing AJ Styles wrestle, but I don't feel like I need to watch anybody else that was mentioned. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like Bailey. I don't know. You said she has a match?
Yeah, Bailey's taking on Sol Ruka. Probably the first match of the show, I'm guessing. But so let's talk about Dynamite. Last week we got to see the crowning of the new AEW Women's Tag Team Championship right off the bat. First match on the show. Great stuff. It was, I am, like I said, and I say, I don't like pat myself on the back too much, but I said if you have matching gear, there's a good chance you're going to win. And so he had the Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa versus Will Nightingale and Harley Cameron, and Willie Nightingale and Harley Cameron wearing the matching tag team tights and everything. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was a heck of a way to start it. I figured they would hold that off till the end because it's stakes for something besides the Continental Classic, which was going on.
But I mean, title match. Not one person thought the men's world title was changing on Wednesday night, but
you didn't.
I'll tell you, Eddie Kingston can make you feel like he's gonna, though. He's really great at manipulate, using, his time on the mic to manipulate the crowd. And I think he did a great job. I mean, I thought it was awesome, but we got after the new crowned AEW Women's Tag Champs. We got Okada versus Jack Perry. Jack Perry coming into the Gold League, taking over for who was he taking over for? Injured
Darby.
Darby, who got was in the hospital according to the pictures last week. But I'm sure he's fine now. But yeah, that and Jack
Perry wins the award for most unconventional way to get out of a pile driver.
Oh yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't be the first time that's happened, but it's the first time I can remember that happening. That was creative.
Yeah, that's
something.
I hope it's not the first time his mouth's ever been down near there, but yeah, maybe it was, I don't know. Yeah, that was interesting. I thought it was great. Jack Perry actually got hurt in that match while it was going on and still gutted it out till the end. So I give him, a lot of credit. Yeah, hopefully he's not out too long. He did something with his ankle.
Oh boy.
Yeah, hopefully. But after that, we got, obviously the build up for the Eddie Kingston match, but then we got Swerve and Hangman taking on Powerhouse Hobbs and Shibata. And it was obviously Swerve and Hangman have a lot of history, and they built up the whole storyline around that coming together to take out the Ops, which they did. Kyle Fletcher losing to Mike Bailey, that was a kind of a surprise. That was a great match, by the way, too. That was insane. An insane match. They gave him a lot of time too on TV, almost 20 minutes. So that it was a great. And then Joe and Eddie Kingston and Joe. That's what I was talking about earlier when Joe kind of like signals, send a little message to John Cena there. But man, what a great Dynamite this past week, and I'm hoping Collision's even better. I'm sure it will be with the lineup they've got. So.
During
But
that Speedball and Fletcher match, I was just like, the only thing that would make this match better is
yeah, Speedball
having
win.
Speedball win.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was thinking too. And it's like, what are the odds, And it's like, I was really surprised, just
That's the
because.
good thing about the tournament structure. One loss isn't going to hurt him. But I mean, after that match, what a star-making performance for him. Not that we didn't already know what he was capable of, but I feel like that was his first real opportunity he's had on the
Yeah.
roster as a singles performer to really put it out there.
That was at least a contender for television match of the year in my mind. It was I'm not surprised. I mean, those two are so good. But I absolutely loved that match. That is one of the rare TV matches that I'm sure I will go back and watch at some point. Watch again, I should say. And I love that Speedball won. And now they've got two really good options today as well. That you either follow up and give Speedball more momentum with a win today, or you really help boost Kevin Knight a little bit by him then being able to beat Speedball, who beat Fletcher. So it's a win-win on that side of things too. But I mean, that was a match where nothing was going to distract me, and like my eyes were glued on the TV. And honestly, that doesn't happen too much with TV wrestling, where it's just like that the whole time. But I loved it. I loved that match.
Yeah, and that's and in the back of my head, like DC said, it's like I'm thinking, okay, so how does Kyle Fletcher win this match? I mean, obviously, Speedball Mike Bailey is getting quite the platform to show what he can do. And it was like, and it's like, and then he won, and it's like, holy cow. I mean, it's like, Okada lost last week. So, I mean, it just shows you anybody in this tournament can lose to anybody else, and it's not going to
Either
hurt.
anybody or everybody except for one person. I still like, I still, I don't know. I kind of want to place a bet on Takeshita going undefeated, but I mean, I don't want it to always be like every year, like be predictable, but like, how does this tournament not end with Takeshi and Okada?
I was going to say it has to
But,
based on the past couple months of tension between those two. It's a perfect setup too.
well, I should say, how does it not end with Takeshita beating Okada?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, gosh. Well, Okada, I don't know. But it's been very entertaining. And then we're going to get a couple shows. We're going to get obviously Collision from Wales today, and we're going to get next week's Dynamite is going to be from over there as well.
Manchester.
Manchester, and it's going to be 3 hours or 4 hours, but it's going to be three. No, what it is, it's going to be Dynamite, and then it's going to be Collision after it. But they're going to do a Collision second hour. It won't be televised until the weekend after. So this is they're doing a 4 hour show that we're going to get three of it live. Is it going to be live? I don't think. No, it's not going to. I'm not sure.
No, it wouldn't be live.
Yeah, it's going to be taped. Yeah.
Trying to think. Yeah, it won't be live because they'll
Another 5 hours.
that's another 5 hour difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because next weekend are the two shows at Hammerstein, and I guess that's are they doing? Is Collision not live at I figured it. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it changes. But
Maybe it's a taped Collision from Manchester, and then they tape Dynamite on Saturday, and then tape Collision on Sunday to then air those on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. That
yeah,
might be what they're doing.
yeah, I was gonna say they definitely. Yeah, they're trying to avoid.
Which is
the
weird
holiday.
to tape a television show on the same day that you're airing a different television show at the same time. Like,
Well, they've
just do
done that
Collision live
before.
from.
I think they've done that before. I know they've taped on a Saturday for both shows and then had Collision. I'm trying to remember when it was, but yeah, it's when they were in Vancouver, I think that they did.
Well, that's what kind of sucks too, is like that's the, because World's End, I believe, is what, like 2 days after Christmas. Um, and so the show, or actually, there might not be, maybe there's not even a Collision. I don't know. Because if, oh no, Collision's airing on Christmas. Yeah, that's right. But those results from New York City, like the Hammerstein shows, are going to be pretty big going into the pay-per-view in terms of Continental Classic, who makes like the final four there, and like setting up matches and stuff like that. And that's going to be taped days in advance. And I just can't wait for people to spoil it online.
Oh, I'll try not to look at it. At least I try my darndest not to look at things just so that I can watch them. But yeah, I mean, they'll give you at least who's wrestling. I'll take that. If you tell me who's going to be taking each other on the whole show, but I don't want to know who wins or anything. But yeah, then they're doing that whole series in Texas, right? They have that in the beginning.
Collision is in Arlington all of January, I believe. Yeah. Because they have the New Year's Eve show in Ralston, Nebraska. And then, yeah, Collision after that point will be Arlington, I think, for 4 weeks. I don't know about Dynamite still touring around, but
Okay, cool. So let's me jump to some other stuff. We'll get that'll probably pop up in the news when I get to it, and I'll reiterate it. But I want to talk a little bit about the Mystery Man showed up again in WWE this past week. The Mystery Man not being the same person, obviously, because they just have a little bit of a different body shape. But I saw rumors the Mystery Man could be Chris Jericho.
Not a chance.
It's definitely not the same body size, that's for sure. But I mean, they're throwing.
I mean, his body fluctuates a decent amount, so who knows?
He doesn't
I
grow.
like somebody said he was the guy at War Games. I'm like, you tell me, Chris. You watch that guy run out that cage and tell me that's Chris Jericho.
Yeah, and he's like probably like a foot taller than Chris Jericho too. Whoever was in the mask. So, the guy did show up again this past Monday and took out Rey Mysterio. And so they didn't just drop it like I was getting the feeling they were going to do, because they waited a week before they had him come back. I don't care anymore. It's probably, it looks like Randy Orton to me, and it probably will be. And obviously it'll be a heel turn in the unmasking, which usually is the case when you have a masked wrestler. But if it turns up being 5'6" Chris Jericho, I'm going to be quite disappointed, because. But I saw rumors today because, I mean, Chris Jericho, nothing is definite where he's going. It's just that I don't want him to start another year. I'm going to retire in a year and then do like what Cena did for the next year. And it's like then WWE becomes the retirement wrestling themed television program for the next year. So that's why I think that they wouldn't do that. Kind of like they mentioned kind of slightly offhand that AJ Styles signed he's got one more year in his contract. Does he retire? He says he's going to, but it's like they're not going to go and do what they did with John Cena with AJ Styles. And it's like the worst part is,
Although they probably saw how lucrative it was, and WWE loves an excuse to make money.
John Cena gave him credit this past week as being the best wrestler in the ring. When he was like doing like, they were asking him, questions, and that was one of them. Who he thought the best wrestler in wrestling is, and he said AJ Styles, and it's like gives him a lot of credit because they both were running head to head when he was in TNA, and John Cena was in WWE. They were both the figureheads of their companies. So until AJ came over, but it's interesting.
Think of that stretch over 12 months. Then we're going to lose John Cena, AJ Styles, and Tanahashi.
Yeah. It's you got to build some.
I can't wait for the Tanahashi match though. I'm really looking forward to watching that, but it sucks knowing I'm never going to see him live again or at all.
It's
Yeah.
you gotta build up, build up something to take his place. That's what I'm scared about with like what's been going on with John Cena, and that's kind of why he's focused on the young talent towards the end of this whole run. Is that he won't be around anymore, so you got to find someone else who can do what or find and that's why they've been in a creative rut for quite a while in WWE. What's going to happen when the thing they've been leaning on for the past year is gone, or then AJ Styles, I mean, I don't want. I don't think every wrestler should get the retirement tour. And as much as I love AJ Styles, it's not the right time. That's for sure. Once John Cena's done, but and now TNA, of course, obviously going to AMC. I almost thought they canceled them on Access TV because I turned it on and there was something else on this past week, but they changed the time when they're running the show now. So it's not. It used to be 8 to 10. Now it's I think 9 to 11 or whatever with immediate rerun. But I thought, it's like I figure Access probably can't be thrilled that they're leaving,
But they are Access, aren't they? I mean, like Anthem owns Access and Anthem owns TNA, kind of. I mean, I feel like
I thought that the Mark Cuban owned Access. I thought he was, he was the
yeah,
guy.
but I think doesn't he own Anthem then? I don't know.
I don't know either, but yeah, it's interesting. Just well, I kind of got off track there a little bit when I was talking about. So
We're all about tangents today.
yeah, the big time. So another tangent, might as well go into it. So The Rock got nominated.
Let's go back to Bojangles real quick. No,
Bojangles. Yeah, I'm hungry now. You're making me hungry talking about that.
I could really go for Waffle House right now, though.
So The Rock this week, The Rock was officially announced as up for actor of the year with a Golden Globe. He's up for a Golden Globe with this new movie, The Smashing Machine, that he was.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was from him like putting up numbers with his hand and then it never going anywhere. Okay.
Yeah. What does this mean? I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually, which is, I'll give him a lot of kudos. You know what? It was kind of a risk to do this movie that's based on a UFC guy who did a whole ton of steroids, had rage issues, spent a lot of time, got arrested many times, beat his wife up, things like that. And then Rock went and, recreated. They actually had a documentary on this guy, which was called The Smashing Machine. And this is basically the replay of it, but, with actors. And kudos to him if he wins, but it's nice. It's a little nod to, I know he kind of ruined his time with DC by this whole Black Adam thing and everything. And he kind of like really was on the outs with like, Paramount and major companies because of what, how that all fell apart. And I thought, he came back with like, and obviously the live action Moana is going to be coming out soon. He's going to be involved all over that too. But have you noticed that he's like been shrinking lately? That he's like, it looks like he's trying to get less buff.
I don't think I've seen him since whatever the last thing he was in last thing he did in WWE. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, he used to post a lot of his exercise regime on his Instagram. He would like, you'd say like, 6 days on, cheat day, 6 days on. He looked like $1 million. And now it looks like.
So is he somebody that wants to do pull-ups in the middle of the airport while waiting for a flight?
I don't think anymore. I think he's kind of trying to be less muscular.
Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson flights commercial.
He's jumping on a trampoline. He's waiting to get booked. No, I don't think so.
I mean, honestly, I would not think it to be far-fetched if he was trying to debulk, considering in his hulked out form, he's probably pigeonholed into acting roles. So
yeah. No.
If he's looking to get more into that.
But the Rock is also, over 50. So, I mean, it's like, there's a time limit on, like careers for actors and stuff, but I don't know. I give him a lot of credit. He knows what he wants. He has his own production company. John Cena gave him a heads up, hey, look, he's up for an award. It's very, it's nice to see someone from WWE actually be up for an award when it comes to award season. I know that it's in January, so it's coming pretty quick for when the award ceremony will happen. But I just wanted to give a shout out to The Rock because I have not seen Smashing Machine, and apparently nobody else has because the numbers were so small.
Smashing Machine?
Yeah, that's what it's called, Smashing Machine.
This is literally the first I've even heard of it. So no, I haven't seen it.
It's
either.
based on
it was not a moneymaker.
No, it was based on a UFC guy who, back when UFC was kind of like outlaw UFC, where you'd have like, these dudes who you can obviously tell were on huge amounts of steroids. And it's really an interesting story because I remember one time, it's interesting. Someone called up the show when we were on the radio and was talking about it, and I'd never heard of it. And then he sent the DVD to the radio station to give to me, and I ended up watching it. And it's like this intriguing story about this guy, and so Rock made a movie of it. Kudos to him, and hopefully, he wins. And if he does, man, But do you think he'll show up tonight? I don't know. I mean, this should be something he should be at, if he still has any sort of interest in wrestling.
That movie had a $40 million budget and made 21 million at the box office.
Yeah, and I know Rock didn't take a lot of money to make it too. I think he because he wanted a position, he wanted to take an acting role that would, be a serious, get serious kudos for being an actor instead of just being a musclehead. Though he's right in the middle of now making the third Jumanji movie too. So busy guy. He is a busy guy. So kudos to The Rock. I'm going to get into some news and we'll get out of here. We've really been all over the place today. Speaking of being all over the place, Okada, I saw pictures of Okada at a New York Knicks game this past week. And it lines up. Apparently Okada's living in New York City now. Which, yeah, so kudos to him. I mean, he was out there on the court taking pictures and stuff. So very cool. It reminds me, I want to mention something. There was like a giant concert the other night that was super secret that I was this morning when I got up and started going through my my news feeds. I saw nothing but pictures from, it was like guys from Guns N' Roses with Bruno Mars, Anthony Kiedis, just all these other singers doing all these other songs too, like Zeppelin tunes and stuff.
This sounds awful to me so far.
I
But
thought you were going to talk about Weird Al singing Rage Against the Machine.
No, but I've heard that too. But this was fantastic. I was watching some of the video from this morning. Bruno Mars singing Led Zeppelin. It's like, wow, it was really good. It sounded more like Led Zeppelin than Robert Plant. So if you're
now this was real, right? It wasn't AI.
Oh, it definitely was real. It happened
Okay.
on the 11th. So what was that, Thursday? I think it was like it was it was like a big corporate thing, corporate super band put together, and it was like at a holiday party in New York City. So you'll see more of it because things will trickle out on social media, but. I did want to mention it because it kind of preoccupied me doing the news this morning because I kept watching the videos from it. Eddie Vedder singing with Slash and these guys singing. It's just all over the place. But the Zeppelin was pretty cool.
It's like Live Aid 2025 or something.
It was something very weird. It was. Yeah, but but let me go on to some more news. Sorry about that. I just diverged. So last night on SmackDown, they announced the very first SmackDown of 2026, which happens to be in Buffalo, New York. It'll be the first 3-hour one, resuming 3 hours of SmackDown. So if you're going to that show and you're under the assumption it was going to be 2 hours,
that beforehand.
Yeah, you're going to be there till 11 at least. So I know that's not exciting for me because I can't make it through the last hour most of the time when I'm sitting on my couch watching it.
You think they're going to sell those Sabres beer swords at that SmackDown, the 3-hour SmackDown?
Probably.
They're probably like $50, but they look pretty cool.
Well, it depends on how many seats they sell. Because when they don't sell a lot of seats, they don't open all the concessions. They only have certain ones open. So. Hey, same thing happens for Rammerks games, man. You get 1,000 people on a Wednesday, man. You got. There's huge lines in the 5 concession places open. That's when I went a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'm not gonna wait the whole period to freaking get a beer. I'll just go back and sit down. You need those guys inside that go around and sell stuff, walking up and down the aisles like you do at baseball games. Beer here.
Don Stevens' favorite, the cotton candy girl that always blocks his view, the cotton candy held up high. Yep.
Yeah. That or the pretzels on the pole, Don, I saw Don, he was at this, there was this big broadcast luncheon the other day I did not go to, and I saw Don was there.
Yep.
I went to it the year before, but I did not go this past year because it's like, it's $40. I had to take half of my day off to go to it. So it's like, oh, maybe next year. Some news. So if you're going to that one, January, and by the way, there is a Groupon out for that. Yeah, if you buy 3 tickets, you get the 4th free. So if you
I was
know,
gonna say I heard the same deal is happening for Rochester, but
yeah, it probably is. I've not
I don't
seen
know.
Rochester, but I saw the Groupon for Buffalo's. Hopefully, there's like 1-in-1 coming soon because that's the only way I'm going. Uh, which is a sad state of affairs because they don't even give comp tickets anymore to even the wrestlers. I've heard that TKO is so tight on their things that there's no longer allowing. So if you have family in the area, you got to buy the seats for your family to come, which is crazy. You know,
Yeah, that's bizarre.
especially because I'm a guy who like lives off of comp tickets. That's the only
Yeah.
reason to go to half of anything, you know? So, okay. So let me move down. So
I've had plenty of low paying jobs in my life that at least I was able to get comp tickets to everything, so that helped justify it a little bit.
and by the way, I meant to I thank you
I'm not
many.
going to single out any individual employers there, but
I'll thank you many times in the past when you got the two comp seats for every hockey game you were doing for the Amherst when you were hosting the in between periods and you used to give them. I know more. I think that's the most hockey games I ever went to in my life in a year was when you were getting two seats for every game, and it was like how could you, I don't know how you could.
I mean, but before Pagula bought it, I was getting stacks to give away on
Oh,
the old drop the puck days. Shout out.
oh yeah,
But
there you go.
yeah,
Hey,
but
it's been a long time. You could do
yeah,
drop the puck as a podcast if you wanted to.
nah, I'm good.
Okay, there you go. So, if you're a
There's been
fan,
some crazy trades at the NHL the last couple days, but no, I'm good.
if you're a fan of WWE's LFG, the show that Jeremy Borash actually makes for WWE, the news came out yesterday that for season 3, Natty Neihart and Kevin Owens are going to be the mentors slash coaches. So Kevin Owens been gone since before WrestleMania, supposed to have neck surgery. I'm not sure if he did. I think he did. I don't know. It never was confirmed if he had the surgery or not because he was just going to rehab
Been
it.
pretty quiet on Kevin Owens' front.
Yeah. So, well, he's definitely coming back and doing the LFG, which to me means something else than what they say it means. Was it Future Legends or something? Or I can't remember what it is.
Legends and future greats.
Yeah, Legends and Future Greats, not Let's effing go, which 90% of the people think that's what it stands for. So, and I do too. So kudos. We'll see Kevin Owens again sometime very soon. Um, let's see. If you're going to watch Raw on Monday, I'm going to go through some previews. We already talked about Saturday night's main event tonight. You know what's happening. On Raw on Monday, you're going to get the Usos versus the New Day, Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio.
Wait, hold on. The Usos versus the New Day.
Yeah, the Usos are back.
Was this 2013?
I didn't even want to talk about it, but poor Jey Uso, man. Within 1 year, it goes from heavyweight Monday Night Raw champion.
That's what you get for yeeting during a War Games match. So.
That was terrible. Yeah, we talked about that last week. That was stopping the whole match to get the yeet going in a War Games match. That was tough. That was tough. Thank God Pat McAfee's not there when that's going on because he would have been dancing on top of the cage, I'm guessing, or something, But so we got the Usos, New Day, Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk returns. We have not seen CM Punk since Survivor Series. Some people are happy about that.
Isn't he the world heavyweight champion?
He is.
Okay. Good stuff, WWE.
There you go. You're going to watch AEW Collision today.
I am.
You're going to get Mark Briscoe and Daniel Garcia for the TNT title.
Yep.
Claudio Castronoli versus Takeshita in a Continental Classic Tournament Blue League match.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter versus Julia Hart and Sky Blue.
Let's go.
And you get Swerve Strickland versus Josh Alexander.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is going to start at 4.
Isn't there one more match?
Speedball and Kevin Knight.
Yeah.
Speedball and Kevin Knight. I'm sorry, I didn't have that on my list there. So this is going to be.
Oh, on top of all those matches, we have this one.
Yeah. Speedball after last week, man. It's like he's going to be in. I would love to see him win the whole thing. Obviously, you think it's going to come down to Takeshita and Okada, but we'll see.
So I mean, and shout out to I'm looking forward to these Cardiff and Manchester crowds, but shout out to that suburban Atlanta crowd on Wednesday for Dynamite. They were great.
Yeah, that was a great crowd. You need more, it's great for those smaller venues that they're in. That helps a lot, especially the crowd was they were hot before the show even started. As soon as they came on, it was like freaking they were chants going on, while they were doing the opening, the opening, setting this the plate for what was going to be on the TV show. It's like it was just crazy. But this show from today is 4:30 coast to coast from HBO Max and TNT, and it's from the Utilia Arena in Cardiff, Wales. So that's exciting. If you're going to watch Dynamite this week coming up, you got the this is fun too. This is going to be a good show because you got the Diamond Ring Battle Royale is going to be on the show. Is that the MJF thing? Is that the one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I would assume he's coming
The one
back,
he's only ever been the winner of.
He's
Yes.
he's the only guy who's ever won it so far.
Yeah.
We got FTR versus Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn for the AEW tag titles.
And I would love to see a title change there.
You got Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Okada, Takeshita, and Henchero.
Talking about like Speedball and Kevin Knight maybe being TV match of the year, and then the very next week you're getting that trios match, which could immediately beat it.
It's for
Thank you, Tony, for that one.
For $1 million too.
Yeah, I don't care about that. That's I but at least the money matches like with the Bucks, like it fit into the storyline. Every other one, it's just like I guess maybe because there's been like Continental Classic and the women's tag tournament and stuff, like those have calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we're not getting like money all-star tag matches every single show, at least. Let's keep it that way.
And so we'll get more teasing of the Okada Takeshita love fest going on, which I enjoy every time. I'm a huge Okada fan. I like him better, and I like bad guys, and I like the way he's a bad guy. So it's like
I'm a huge fan of both of them. I mean, I can't wait to see Takeshita as AEW World Champion at some point too. But I kind of wish we could have gotten a little more of those two tagging, maybe before they started to hate each other and stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the match that's being built up and built up and built up. But I thought AEW didn't do stories.
Yeah. So the 3-hour Dynamite and Collision block will air on the same day, delayed from Manchester, England, at the Co-op Live. That's the place. The show is simulcast Wednesday on TBS and HBO at 8 p.m. The 1-hour Collision show airs at 10 immediately following Dynamite, which of course will probably bleed over between the two because that's the way it usually works. Is one match isn't over as they go into Collision, and then the second hour that they're taping will air Saturday, December 20th at 2:30 on TNT. So that's
okay.
So the fourth hour will be running on the 20th, which is a week from today, and it will air at 2:30 in the afternoon. So that kudos to that's going to be exciting. They've got a lot of great
early show from England. Maybe I'll make some sausage rolls.
Yummy. Get some
give it a little UK flavor.
There you go. Some other news. Trevor Lee, formerly known to WWE's audience as Cameron Grimes, announced that he and his partner are expecting a baby, their first child. His partner is Emily Prophet, who they shared a picture saying it's coming. So kudos to them. Now, we haven't seen Trevor Lee or Cameron Grimes since he left WWE last year, but he's been all over the independent circuit, and he is currently the AAW heavyweight champion, as well as he's been working DPW, Prestige Wrestling, West Coast Pro, GCW, House of Glory.
I've seen, I have seen him a lot. And I haven't seen any AAW stuff in quite a while.
What's AAW?
Chicago's top indie.
Okay.
Danny Daniels runs it. They used to run out of that Berwyn Eagles club, but they've moved on to some bigger venues and stuff. But they've always been a top indie. I mean, some of the matches I got to see there when I was living in Chicago, just unreal. Maybe still the best independent match I've ever seen in person, possibly Zack Sabre Jr. against Cedric Alexander at AAW. So shout out to AAW.
There you go. So just a couple of pieces more of news and we'll get out of here. The second season of WWE Unreal has a premiere date, January 20th. You remember the Unreal? That's the one where you got to see the backstage stuff, and it was groundbreaking to a
I think
certain.
Triple H was on that show, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, I think he was on it. I think John Cena was on it. Cody Rhodes was on it. John Cena went heel on
And then
it.
some more Triple H.
Yeah, more Triple H. Yeah, I had enough of Triple H, but I have a bad feeling he's going to start tonight's show from DC. I mean, because
He loves the attention.
yeah, good for him. His wife's going to the Hall of Fame, so woohoo, good for her. Unfortunate news: AEW
Do
Ring
you
of
think his
Honor.
mother-in-law is going to come try to educate people in the crowd during the pre-show activities?
No, but
Because she knows so much about education.
maybe Kane will show up and give her a pile driver or something.
As long as somebody comes and gives him one after that too.
Yeah, there
That
you go.
works.
So, in unfortunate news, AEW Ring of Honor star Dralistico has announced on Instagram he's undergoing surgery for an ear injury that sidelined him since October. So he must have like a broken eardrum or something going
There's a lot
on.
of ear injuries going on.
Yeah, and what happens when you slap your hands around people's heads and man, sometimes.
I mean, there were some bad injuries like that locally that happened in indies like over the years and stuff. A couple of people got some hard shots to the ears from good old Brody too. It was one of his favorite strikes.
That chef kiss. Ah. Speaking of, I saw someone else do the chef kiss recently. What was it? Champa, I think someone did it, and I laughed my head off. It's like, so one last.
Who is it? The Amric that's up with? Oh, Yuri Kulik. They found like a blood clot in his ear, and he's out for like months right now.
Wow.
I haven't heard of that specific upper body injury before, but that does not sound fun.
Yeah, helmet, right? Doesn't that protect your ears? I don't know.
Not internally.
Oh, that's
but
true. You get racked in the head. Yeah, all sorts of things can happen. So,
yeah.
One last piece of news, and we'll get out of here. TKO's president Mark Shapiro was talking about taking questions about everything, and wanted to talk a little bit
about his greed.
Yeah, I know he's a guy who said that. We should have been charging a lot more for these live events than we have been. It's like, well, then you're going to see emptier houses, buddy. And we're not the only ones complaining about it, man. It's all over the place. It's like
this was a call, or what was this?
He was doing like a live question and answer at a communication.
People have to pay to attend that too.
Probably, but he did have an update on the archives upcoming, and he talked about the archives and said that they're going to, according to him, is working hard a non-existent home for its vast archive library. He's expected in Q1 of next year to make an announcement about it because the current Peacock agreement ends at the end of the year. So all those archive things in WWE that
Please don't tell me this is going to be like, oh, we're launching the WWE app, and then it's going to be months and months of people trying to convince me to download a WWE app like it's 2014 or 13 all over again.
I finally took the old one off my phone because it's like it just post news on it. I didn't care.
I didn't even know it still existed. But
$9.99. Okay, there. So I did talk about Jack Perry. He legitimately tweaked his ankle on a dive against Okada and the Wednesday's Gold League matchup. His first bout in the tournament. A setback, especially mistimed as he attempts to regain momentum in his AEW singles career. So we wish the best for him. He definitely made it through the match after it. So but he suffered through it. I guess it was after the match backstage. It was very sore. So he may have just sprained it, but kudos. Hopefully, I mean, it's funny at one time I really wasn't a big fan of Jack Perry, but I kind of like now how he's grasped this character that happened because of him and CM Punk having a falling out, and it's like,
I like Jack Perry quite a bit. I didn't love the cheesy Jungle Boy, the early days much, but I don't need him to be back with Luchasaurus. I don't need him to have Jungle back in his name, but I do like this version of Jack Perry a lot more.
Yeah, I do too. And it's like, I don't need Taz singing his song coming out.
I need Taz singing everything.
Yeah, I kind of missed that. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very missed. What was it? There was a clip of Billy Gunn in the Mr. Ass days that popped up on YouTube the other day, and Taz quickly, right before it hits in the after those first few words, burr, burr, and Taz like hits it a little bit early or whatever, and I just start cracking up. Like what a gem. And that was how like 25 years ago or whatever. The
Yeah.
Taz, like 20 to 25 years ago, the Taz was doing that too. Love it.
I hope we get him back soon.
He should do a live concert. Or they do those like live comedy shows on a pay-per-view weekend and this and that. Like, well, how about just like karaoke, but it's just Taz and wrestling themes. I would absolutely buy a ticket to that. 100%. I would pay TKO ticket prices to go to that.
Well, we hope Taz comes back sometime soon, because it's like last week it was 3 people on the announcing, and it's like three's fine, but I miss Taz. I mean, he definitely adds something to it, and there's more with him not there. There's more Shivani, and Shivani's okay, but his voice gets higher when he gets excited, and it's just it's a little. I just miss.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like Dynamite Shivani more than I like Collision Shivani, but yeah.
Well, that's so. Is there anything I missed? Because I think we're done with everything. I think, I mean, I'm sure there's other things that happened.
We got all the Bojangles news, right?
Yeah, we all the Bojangles.
We're good.
DC's coming this way in a week and a half, or next weekend actually, and gonna bring some Bojangles.
Somebody's having his last match today, I think.
Yeah, John Cena. You definitely.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Okay, yeah.
You don't want to miss that. So we're gonna get out of here. I want to thank you guys for staying with us in the chat room, as well as thank you, DC. Thank you, Rob. And we're almost to the year 2026. It's really nothing.
Did you say through or two?
We're almost two.
Okay.
It's almost we're almost done with 2025. So we survived 1 year. We just need survive a couple more years, and then things can get better. So we'll see you next week, folks. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great rest of your weekend. Don't spend too much money on Christmas stuff, because the economy's terrible. See